Never ever forget this. Don't let it stop tomorrow or any other day until we have the same, until they're treating us the same as everybody else.
Dude, there's like single blockers. Oh my god. Black Lives Matter! I went to a Black Lives Matter protest. It was peaceful and it was powerful.
We decided to come out here today because this is right after it all happened, right after something bigger than everything else hit. So don't stop. Tomorrow, we're gonna do the same thing. We'll talk about it. We will alert everyone that this is happening. It won't stop here. The day after, keep talking about it. Once they're annoyed, that's good. They'll have to listen to get it to stop.
I felt myself for the first time saying Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter! And you know what it sounded like to me? I mattered. After doing that, I decided to put together a video that answers some questions that people have had. Talk from my experience. I have so much more to say, and I'm actually super happy to have discussions with it and answer people's questions. If you'd like to talk to me about it, just comment below. Okay. Hi, my name is Marie Tagbo. I am 18 years old. When I was 4 years old, I walked up to my mom and I told her, "Mom, I wish I was white." "Why do you want to change your skin color?" my mom asked. I told her I didn't know. But what I did know at the time was that white girls were always treated better than black girls. I don't know what I had seen or what had just happened, but something had left this impression in my brain, and it just never went away. Black women are subject to a special intersectional experience. We are victims of racism and sexism, of beauty standards and racial oppression. This is what I wish I would have known when I was 4 years old. I would have told myself, "Dear little black girl, you are beautiful exactly as you are. You don't need to prove to the world or to anyone else. You don't need to change the heartbeat that's inside of you. You don't have to temper your voice. You don't have to change your ideas, and that's what you deserve. You are beautiful. You are strong. Dear little black girl, the world may not be for you, but there are people here for you. You can do this. You can make it through. You deserve the world." In actuality, race is mostly constructed. 99% of our DNA is similar, and the differences are something that we can easily pass by. Racism exists everywhere, and in this video I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my story. Do you ever feel different or like you stand out in school? I feel like I stand out everywhere. Any situation I go to, any place I go to, I always ask, are people gonna see me the way that I am, or are they gonna see me based on the negative stereotypes? I have no idea who's racist and who's not, and I have no idea how people are going to interpret my actions. There are so many people who don't even realize that they have racist tendencies. Racism isn't always explicit. It's the way that you ignore someone, the way you de-empathize with someone, the way that you invalidate someone's experiences or someone's anger, the way that you try to justify other people's discrimination against them. Those are ways that I feel like I stand out, because I'm always second guessing my place in society based on my race. Some people might think racism is just discriminating against somebody else based on the color of their skin, and yes, that is partially true, but the way we use racism now, it has a lot to do with power and hierarchies and systems that are created to keep sort of races out of equality of opportunity and having the same power as other races do. There is no way that everyone is treated equally. No one is given the exact same set of opportunities to succeed in life. Take poverty, for example. Some people are born into great educations, wealthy families, good connections, and other people are born into a poor set of circumstances. Now, there are some poor people who make it to become rich people, but they are outliers. Sociologists have determined a certain set of factors that create in people a cycle of poverty, and it is extremely hard to get out of the cycle of poverty unless people are helped. But we don't help people in poverty. We don't feed all the homeless. We don't educate all the poor kids. And because of that, not everyone is treated equally. Some people have food, others don't. Some people have race privilege, others don't. Some people have gender privilege, and others don't. And because of that, we don't treat everyone in society equally. Not yet. It's peaceful, it's a beautiful day. I'm fed, I've had water today. That's my privilege. But my privilege doesn't come from my race. My privilege comes from my class. Now, there is a thing called white privilege. White privilege does not mean that you've had life easy. It means that you don't face a certain set of oppressive circumstances that people who are black have. Now, what's the set of oppressive circumstances that people who are black have that isn't the same that people who are white have? Generational wealth. Black people have been systematically excluded from generational wealth. So things like having access to good education, access to good housing, access to wealthy connections, those are things that black people have historically been excluded from. Thus, sociologists have determined that it's extremely hard for them to pull themselves out of their bootstraps. Secondly, black people are more connected to racial stereotypes. People are more often to convict black people for the same crimes, to judge them, to pull them over while driving. Those negative stereotypes, A, have a negative psychological effect on black people, and B, lead to the cycle of exclusion in society. And that's because they don't have white privilege. That's what privilege means. Privilege means you don't face the same sorts of things that other people do. Have you ever seen or experienced racism? I actually have. It's not fun to talk about, but I always want to talk about it because it helps me educate other people. There was one situation where, actually 500 feet up from right there, my neighbor called the cops on my mom. She thought she had seen my stepdad run into her car, but my mom said that she didn't. Now, when the cop pulled up, she listened to the neighbor's story, and instead of asking my mom what had happened, because my mom was also a witness, the cop immediately began to blame her. She began to tell her to bring my stepdad home and claim that she was going to arrest both of them. Why? Because she automatically believed the white lady's story and she didn't believe my mom's story. I watched and listened to the whole thing happening, and what I realized was that I was seeing racism in action. And this isn't one just bad apple. Racism is systematic. It happens over and over and over again in a myriad of different ways. It happens from teachers, it happens from doctors, it happens from policemen, it happens in all sorts of situations. I've seen it throughout my whole life, and many other people have too. It's a problem that's widespread, and it needs a collective group of people who are willing to stand up and stop it for any change to happen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know, it just means so much, and I really appreciate the fact that you sat down and listened. I have so much more to say and so many things to talk about with intersectionality, police brutality, systemic oppression, poverty, the education system. Those are all ways that black people and other people of color experience racism. But the most important thing is to thank you. Thank you for opening up your heart and your mind, for listening. I hope that we can all continue to do this to create change. Have a good day.
Thank you everyone for coming. For the next few minutes, few seconds, we're gonna have a moment of silence. If you could please join me in doing that.